Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of GegaHub Live. I am host 1 of 3, Luis.
I'm host 2 of 3, DaiKaiju Tony.
And I'm last, Adam Kren. Welcome.
Story of your life, huh, buddy?
That's right.
Okay, so this episode in particular, we're going to be talking about and breaking down the new Dungeons and Dragons movie trailer, which came out, like a week or two ago?
It's like a week ago, yeah. Comic-Con.
Figure we give everyone, enough time to watch it.
Right.
And we'll just talk about it, get our thoughts on it.
Right.
Tony, can I ask you a question, Tony?
Yes.
How much experience would you say you have with role-playing games?
I mean, I joined a club.
Besides
role-playing games in general?
Yeah.
Tabletop
Role-playing games, like Dungeons and Dragons, for instance.
I did join a D&D
That's a good one.
I did join a D&D club in high school for
Nice.
2 weeks.
Hellfire Club.
It didn't really work.
It's so easy. There was no D&D club when I was in high school, unfortunately.
No. I mean, there were kids that played, but there was no club, yeah. They were still doing chess club and stuff like that.
Nerds.
I have a bunch of tabletop games somewhere in this pile.
Tabletop role-playing games? Like Dungeons and Dragons, for example.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Not D&D. The only D&D I have is
Call of Cthulhu?
It's the Rick and Morty one that's in the house.
That's Dungeons and Dragons. That's that is a very fun dungeon, actually. You weren't there. Were you there? Oh, you were there. You were Meatface.
It was Meatface.
That was a very fun dungeon, honestly. It was good.
It was really good. Yeah, we had a good time with that one.
Right.
Okay, and then of course, as people who've watched the show know, Adam and I have been playing for a very long time. Right. And we are in a gaming group, so we play about almost every week. Right. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go, but...
Yeah, me neither. Lately, I've had to work.
Yeah, we've had a lot of experience with tabletop RPGs, but here we are, again, 22 years later, and there's a new Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Right.
From the first one that was in the year 2000.
Yeah.
Yes, starring Chris Pine, of course.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Before there was a trailer out, when they were still talking about who was going to be in it, who was going to be writing it.
Production.
Well, let's, if I may, let's talk about the 2000 movie briefly, and only because it came out before Lord of the Rings. It actually had a pretty big cast of known actors at the time. Thora Birch was no slouch in the 90s. She was well known. Jeremy Irons. Bruce Payne.
I keep forgetting she was in that.
Yeah, Bruce Payne was definitely around in the 90s a lot. Of course.
Who was in it?
That's right. Yeah, Tom Baker was in it. He played like the Thief Lord or something. Marlon Wayans is in it.
The great Marlon Wayans.
Right, some guy. The guy. I don't remember his name, but the guy that played Jimmy Olsen in Lois and Clark was in it.
Yes.
Justin Whalen.
Is that his name? Okay.
His name, Justin Whalen.
Yeah, I mean this.
I forgot that he was Jimmy. I forgot that he was Jimmy.
Let's talk about the quality of that movie.
The thing was that I remember, when it came out, it was a big deal. And I know my group at that time, another group, completely different group, saw it. And, we all kind of dug it, even though we knew it was bad. But
okay, at least you knew it was bad.
But it was and I wasn't the one to say this. It was actually my sister-in-law's brother said this. And he's absolutely right. John, you were right. It is like everybody's first D&D session. It's like... You're a thief, but then you go on this adventure, and there's these things that don't even make sense. And, it ends with a bunch of dragons fighting each other. Because, it's Dungeons and Dragons. But when Lord of the Rings came out...
What without the dragon?
Right, when Fellowship of the Ring came out, that movie was forgotten about faster than... wow. It was just, immediately just nope. That movie is bad.
About, the best thing in that movie.
Did it come out, a year later?
Yeah, Fellowship of the Ring was the next year.
2001.
2001.
But,
Yeah.
like, we talk about the best scene of the movie where
What's that?
there's tentacles coming out of a guy's ear and he's interrogating.
Oh yeah. Jeremy or Bruce Payne or Jeremy Irons was putting something.
No, not
people.
Not Jeremy Irons.
It was Bruce Payne then. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one with the purple lipstick.
Right.
And
yeah.
he was like torturing. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Like with tentacles coming out of his ear
Right.
into her ears. I'm like, whoa,
Right.
okay. Is this when I started doing drugs while watching this,
Right.
or what?
Yeah. And then of course there's actually a sequel to the movie, which a lot of people don't realize, which is called Wrath of the Dragon God, which was 2005.
Was it like straight to video?
I think so, yeah, because I saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel. But
Damn,
the thing was, it's a better movie. It's lower budget, definitely, but it's a better movie.
Okay, so it's kind of like the Guyver movies.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But it's kind of mostly forgotten about now. But it did have a lot of accurate D&D things. Like Bruce Payne is the only connecting character. He's like the same guy, and he's the bad guy in that one, and he sides with a lich, and the lich is a very powerfully magical undead creature, and he causes a lot of problems for the heroes. But as soon as things don't go their way, the lich is like, I'm out. And that's exactly right. Like, that's what liches do. They're like, oh, you're winning? I'm out. Bye. I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. I'm dipping.
Okay, totally not like an Adventure Time.
So, but anyway,
there's the third movie.
There's a third movie? Oh, I missed that one.
There's a third movie. It came out in 2012. It's called The Book of Vile Darkness.
Oh,
just like the supplement. And it was only released in the UK.
Oh God!
So that's why I haven't seen it. It was shot in Bulgaria and then direct to DVD in the UK.
Damn! Only released in the UK. That sounds hardcore.
That sounds bad.
Wow.
Apparently, it's supposed to be really good, though. Apparently, it's supposed to be pretty good.
Okay,
but that's what I hear.
With us. The book.
Oh no, I'm serious.
Oh yeah.
The book.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't know.
In Dungeons and Dragons 3, The Book of Vile Darkness.
Oh, okay. And I own that book, too. I think I own almost all the 3.5. Yeah, almost all the 3.5 books.
I never actually heard of a movie going through that, like straight to video, but only in this country. Like,
well, it depends. If they're trying to sell the movie to different distributors, and they bought the last D&D movie that did nothing for them, they're not going to buy the third one, even if it is good.
You're right.
So, and maybe the production company was British, that's why they sold it in the UK. Who knows?
Should have got Full Moon to do it.
But anyway, so yeah, this is not the first D&D movie. The Chris Pine led cast.
What's this one called? The new one?
Honor Among Thieves?
Honor Among Thieves?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I think that's what it is. I think it's Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, it is. And the font is the newer Dungeons and Dragons font.
No, okay. So, where do you want to start? Where do we want to start?
What I was gonna say was I was so ready to crap on this movie so hard. Actually, no, I did. I crapped on it so bad.
The
like
trailer?
I heard who was in it. No, not this is before the trailer. I'm talking about like when they were announcing cast and writers and they were announcing the director, and I was just like,
this is gonna suck.
It's gonna be like, it'd be very like, haha, wink, wink, but like in a very obvious way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh. I don't know who's involved behind the scenes. I purposely didn't look at that because I didn't want my opinions to be swayed. So I don't know who's involved other than Chris Pine and a few of the other principal actors.
Michelle Rodriguez?
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez. And,
Michelle Rodriguez.
I can't think of her name, but she was in It. She's really good, actually. I like that she's in it. She's in the excellent Netflix show, This Is Not Okay, which is unfortunately nobody saw it, but it's an excellent show.
Which is why I didn't get another season.
Sophie Lillis or something.
Yeah.
Lilith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, at least for her sake, I hope this movie does well because, yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
she's good.
Well, what I was gonna say was like I was already crapping on the movie before I'd even seen the trailer. Like it was lining up to not be a good movie. Like Hugh Grant is the bad guy. Like,
Oh, that's right.
Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what else is Hugh Grant been in?
Hugh Grant was huge, but 20 years ago.
rom-com
king.
British rom-com guy. Yeah. So yeah, like I was ready to crap on it, and then I saw this movie trailer, and it hasn't completely won me over yet. Like I know there's a lot more to a movie than a trailer, but just given what's in the trailer, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it looks like it's gonna be fun, and really that's all you need a movie to be is enjoyable, right? Like it.
Yeah.
Does it have to be particular, like award-winning good? No, it doesn't have to be.
No.
But if it can at least entertain, like that's the pinnacle of any movie, I believe, is it can entertain. And this looks like it might entertain, but I'm still apprehensive.
The story might be on the forgettable side.
My biggest concern is that what you see so much with newer movies is that they sort of take this all things to all viewers approach, where they, instead of making a movie about something, they make a movie that's a lot of things so that everybody is entertained. And I think that's been a huge problem with the later Marvel movies or the more recent Marvel movies. I think it's a problem with a lot of movies. I know I'm showing my age here, but Dungeons and Dragons originally, way back in the day, was heavily, heavily derived from Tolkien's works. That's a fact. Can't get around that.
Yeah.
And folklore and things like that. But to me, there's sort of a more, it feels like there should be more of a serious tone. And this movie, the trailer, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it does seem like it's trying to strike a comedic tone. And I'm just,
that's pretty much everything nowadays.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They try to be all things to all viewers, kind of thing, and I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
It's a trailer. The trailer has to be entertaining, right?
True.
Yeah. I don't want a minute and a half of 5 characters
Grim
trying
darkness.
to solve what is a very easy puzzle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in a whole trailer. Yeah, the whole trailer is just them solving a puzzle. Like I don't.
Yeah, but with most Marvel movies, it's either overly self-aware in a sense
which
where
is my problem with Taiki Waititi is everything he makes is way too self-aware and not for the best.
Either comedic to the sake where you're not really supposed to take it seriously, which is why going slightly off topic, which is why I think Sam Raimi is a better superhero movie director than a lot of Marvel movie directors, because he's able to embrace weird and fantastical elements.
Yeah,
which I think is something that the Dungeons & Dragons movie should do.
Yeah, and I hope it does. Yeah.
Instead of poking, I hope to God they don't make fun of the idea of a treasure chest that is able to eat people.
It's called a mimic.
A mimic.
Those things do exist in the game. Yeah, they're quite nasty and
educate yourself, Tony.
Instead of making fun of the mimics for the sake of it, I wouldn't mind if the movie actually took him somewhat seriously.
Yeah, it treats it like a legitimate threat. I agree. I absolutely agree.
And because it would be more funny if they took it like a legitimate threat and you're looking at it face value. I'm like, wow, this treasure chest thing called a mimic is eating people.
Right. I'm right there with you. I absolutely agree, Tony. That's my concern. Is they're not gonna treat these threats seriously.
Now, at worst, this is, in my opinion, at worst, this would be like the Monster Hunter movie where it's just... It includes characters from the games, but the story is one of the most forgettable things ever made, and they kind of get some of the characters from the games wrong, in the sense of a mimic is doing this instead of what it normally does, because that's what the Monster Hunter movie did.
Yeah, I mean... Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, because if you've seen the Monster Hunter movie, it's essentially made to sell the games, but at the same time, it misleads people into thinking what the game's actually about.
Yeah, that's for sure. What about you, Luis?
Well, I mean, luckily for us, D&D doesn't have a
set
narrative kind of structure that has to follow.
That's true.
When you play Monster Hunter, right? Like there's specific things you have to do basically in every Monster Hunter game, right? You have to go out, obviously find monsters, get materials, and just get stronger. Like that seems to be the formula for Monster Hunter games.
Better swords, better armor, yeah.
The good thing about D&D is so free form as a tabletop game that you could literally make any kind of adventure and it'll still be like a D&D.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do agree about that. Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't like D&D, The Legend of Drizzt, right? Like there's like a set history there where they have to hit all the notes for all of us who read that book. This is a brand new and original story.
Right.
So like we're lucky in that way. Like you can just make any story really.
Another comparison with a video game adaptation. That's also directed by Paul W. Anderson. The first live-action Resident Evil movie. Story is completely original. But at the same time, it doesn't feel completely disconnected from the world of the games. It feels like it could plausibly take place in that universe. I am hoping at best this movie would end up like that to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, and Luis hit the nail on the head. I mean, the nice thing is, as long as they, and you said it too, Tony, as long as they do the monsters how they're supposed to be done, they can't really go wrong with the story because it's D&D. It's different every time, and it can be different every time.
How would you react if there's a meta aspect to it, like plot twist? It turns out this story is just about people actually playing a D&D board game, and they're selling. In the end of the movie, they're basically selling D&D. It's like, hey kids, you want to be like those guys in the movies?
I'm good. I'm good with that.
I think that would be
a mistake.
I've also seen that movie. It's entertaining.
You see the Dragon Quest anime?
Our story? Your story?
Yeah, but the meta plot twist ending is like, oh yeah, this whole time you've been in a VR headset playing Dragon Quest 5. Yeah, I'm like,
basically, yeah.
What?
It raises so many questions.
So Michelle Rodriguez, she's the barbarian. She like fails a saving throw and it just zooms out and it's just like a bunch of people playing at a table.
Oh my
God! Is that what you're saying?
It's like the gamers.
I think I could do it.
The gamers and the gamers Darkness Rising. Now, those are excellent examples of gamer movies. Yeah.
If you want like gamer meta movies, for sure, those movies are great.
Right.
Even the first one, I've actually find the first one really entertaining. I don't think it's as well put together as the other two, but
it's a series of anecdotes about gaming that make it funny. But the second one's like a real movie, and it's great. Yeah, it's really good. The third one's good too. I don't think it's as good as the second, but it's good. Yeah. And if you don't know what those are. They are put out by Dead Gentleman Productions, Orpheus Entertainment. They're Washington-based group that made The Gamers and The Gamers 2 Darkness Rising. Great stuff.
They also made. They were also part of the production of Darkest Dungeon, which Tony was talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
Earlier, which I also have that movie. It's a great movie.
I still need to watch that.
Oh my god!
It's on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi.
It's a movie that Okay, well, I'll talk about it later because, like, maybe after stream because it's more of an idea type thing.
Right.
So.
Okay, so let's talk about this trailer real quick, unless anybody else had something to say.
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
I did like Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez's chemistry and the brief bits they showed them interacting. That seemed pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, it seems like we get like a session 0 that we're not privy to.
Right.
Probably it'll be like the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, but basically Chris Pine and his party, which I'm assuming at the beginning is just Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know.
Right, him and Michelle Rodriguez.
They steal this artifact. It's unsure what the artifact is yet, but they steal this artifact for this powerful evil artifact for the wrong person who is now using the artifact to, I assume, take over
the world.
Faerun? Question mark?
Is it Faerun? That'd be cool.
I think so, because I think the shot of the city is Waterdeep. So.
I didn't look that closely. That would be cool. Faerun is a very well-established D&D world. There's a few of them that are pretty well-established. Faerun is probably the most, I think, well-established because of 3.5. But yeah.
It's Forgotten Realms. I think it's
Forgotten Realms. Yeah, Sword Coast. Waterdeep is along the Sword Coast. Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically steal this artifact for this evil, what looks to be a sorcerer or something, And then now their plan is to get the artifact back.
Right.
And then the rest of the movie is just a bunch of like the funnier bits, I guess, in the movie, the more entertaining bits.
Right. I mean, yeah. It certainly looks like it's gonna be heavy on action. That's good. That's always good.
I mean, look, like I said, there's nothing wrong with, like, I'm not looking for like an Academy Award-winning D&D movie here. Like, I just kind of want some mindless fun. The emphasis being on fun.
Yeah,
mindless fun, but at the same time, it doesn't blatantly disrespect the source material.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Monster Hunter or modern Resident Evil adaptations.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills from.
Yeah, I mean. I just hope that the action is part of the story and it exists because of the story, not just because they wanted to have a bunch of action. You know what I mean? Like, it should make sense. I mean, I know the Batman movie got a lot of flack for not being an original story, which I think is kind of BS. But it was a very circular script. It came back on itself several times and it was well done.
Yes.
But I just hope this movie does that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, the action should make sense. What happens in it should be for a reason and not because we're gonna have action, you know. So
and you know, there's a build up to why it's happening and a build up to pretty logical and like, well, I don't want to say mind blowing, but like what you said in the Batman, like freaking Batman has to fight Riddler's goons and henchmen because he essentially inspired Riddler. Like, that just goes round.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So good. That was good. I was really impressed.
That was good.
Yeah. Yep. But hopefully this one will do that well, if that makes sense. You know, I hope they just don't have a mimic in it to have a mimic in it, and then it's like, okay, we'll see.
Man. Yeah, like how
it's like a throwaway gag or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, because too many movies do that now.
Yeah, like freaking almost every monster in the Monster Hunter movie, except for Rathalos, because Rathalos is the main bad guy.
It's a throwaway gag.
Like, there's this one fish monster who ends up, becoming food because that's what you do in the games, and it's more of a cameo than anything. Or Resident
Can we
Evil
talk
Welcome
about?
Back to the City.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anything else you got, Luis? Or
Let me talk about what I've seen online.
Okay. I've avoided
already,
all online comments intentionally.
I saw the trailer on Reddit, and I started reading through some of the comments.
Reddit. I'm just kidding.
What do you use now?
This guy right there.
I'm way behind. This guy with the Reddit.
This guy.
I'm still on Facebook too.
Like an animal.
I don't really share memes there.
I still have an AOL account.
Whoa.
Wow. That's pretty
hardcore. I don't. Anyway, let's talk about some of the things people are complaining about already. Minor things, mechanical things. In one of the biggest one being Sophie Lillis's character. She is a tiefling druid.
Okay.
One of the big things people are upset about is that she looks human. She's got like a lot of tieflings are portrayed as having like red skin or blue skin. They're the demonic race.
Right.
And she just looks like a person with like horns and a tail. And a lot of people are pretty peeved about the idea that she's not red or blue or something.
Tieflings ran the gamut of human to red and blue and everywhere in between. So
now that's reminding me of something else that, oh man.
Yeah, people are complaining about that, really?
They come. Oh, and that's not the only thing. Again, this is tied to her character. She is the druid, so she can change into beasts, right?
Right.
In the trailer, she changes into an owl bear,
which is not technically allowed.
Which is, because unless your DM allows you, which they could have. Why couldn't they have?
Right.
I've let one of my players transform into an owl bear.
Owl bears are awesome. Yeah.
That'd be cool if it was like more of a twist and like why she turns into an owl.
There may be a reason for it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But people are pretty upset because mechanically, owl bears are considered monstrosities and not beasts.
Right. Yeah.
So people are like really upset that she transformed into an owl bear, and I'm like, it's cool. Are you kidding me? Like,
it's cool, and it's also it's a game made by Hasbro.
Yeah, exactly. By the people who make Monopoly. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I want to see a Monopoly
And
movie
you
so
should
bad.
be able to play it that entertains your group. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Tony,
Professor
you
Dungeon Master.
Yeah, thank you. You said you wanted to see a Monopoly movie?
Wait, there's already one that already exists.
Yeah.
The founder.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street too, and that's like probably one of the best movies ever made. But like the founder, starring Michael Keaton, as the guy who bought.
Oh, sure, yeah, the guy who bought McDonald's, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good Monopoly movie.
The Roy Kroc story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, like, people are already complaining about like that, but it's like, listen,
Come on, man.
maybe their DM let them homebrew. I totally would have let you do that if you wanted to turn into an owlbear. Like, what's the big deal? I don't understand.
What's the worst that could
But I
happen?
guess people are already like upset because the mechanics are off, and I'm like, it's a movie, it's not the game.
It's also a game.
Jesus Christ, and it's also a game
that the DM can overrule
that's
any
really loose
aspect
with
of
its
any
rules,
rule.
right?
What's that?
Yeah, it's a game that's really loose with its rules, right?
Well,
Since-
it is and it isn't. But the DM can change anything to keep. There's a lot of current philosophy / arguments about keeping the game going no matter what. And so I don't get it. So
I don't understand it either.
people
It's
are
like
wrapped around the rules.
you guess what? You bought the game. You know what you can do with it? Absolutely whatever you want.
Right.
True.
If you got Monopoly and you want to give people $300 for pass and go, you can do that. Monopoly's not going to show up at your house and arrest you or take your game away because you're not playing it right.
Right. Hasbro's not going to do that. Nobody's going to show up.
Hasbro's not going to show up. Yeah.
Give us
Fine,
money,
dude.
Hasbro.
You know what I mean?
Please be our sponsor. I want all your free stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's like little things like that, but people are kind of like already bitching about, and it's like, come on, like, it's not a big deal. It's not that big a deal.
Right.
But that's me personally. I don't know. I know it upset a lot of people already. You know how the internet is so fickle.
Right.
Like I said, it looks, besides all that stuff, it looks like it's going to be like a fun movie. It looks like there's going to be a lot of action in it. We'll have to wait and see what the story is like when if we actually sit down and watch it.
Right.
And the action better not be crap because I've seen, like, oh my god, like, just fight scene on Twitter that was like trending basically 100 jump cuts per second or something like that. Like every single action, like the camera just keeps shifting and shifting, and you almost get a headache from just watching it.
Well, George Romero was actually famous for very quick cuts, so it is a very efficient way to shoot because you can shoot a lot of material and edit it in various ways. So I mean, really, you gotta and trailers are edited even more, so they're not at the whim of the director's final vision. So you gotta kind of wait and see for that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, the job of the trailer is to sell the movie. If that means showing all the good bits in the trailer, then that's exactly what they're gonna do.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I'm still a little torn about whether or not this movie is gonna be good, but I think I might check it out. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
Like,
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
$5 movie theater.
We should take the whole gaming group.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Have a field trip.
See how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. So, anything else about this here trailer? I know there's a lot of
Nope. I'm good.
little bits in there, like you said. There's a lot of the mimics in there. There's a lot of monsters in this movie. The black dragon's in there.
Right. They always show the black dragon. They never. What is with that?
They showed the red dragon. I think it's the one where the mouth is open and the person's sliding in as the red dragon.
Okay.
And then what was the other one? The displacer beast,
Yeah.
which they jumped into a slime or what do you call it? Is it a slime?
Yeah, the
Slime. The gelatinous
the
cube.
gelatinous cube. Yeah. Ugh, duh.
Jumped into a gelatinous cube to escape the displacer beast.
Which I don't know why you do that. That would
I
kill
guess
you.
maybe if you swim through fast enough
Maybe.
before it can actually hurt you, it'll be better than being torn to pieces by what is essentially a panther with tendrils.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So
They're pretty nasty, based off the Curl by an A.E. von Voigt story. Yeah. Or von Vogt, yeah.
all right, so let's you know what? We've never done this before, but let's rate this thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, trailer?
1 out of 4. Yeah, 1 out of 4. 1 being you absolutely are not going to go see it, and 4 being yeah, I'll go check it out, or I am very enthusiastic to go see it.
I'm giving 4 because the trailer was good enough for me to like at least check it out. Because like, even though I'm not too familiar with D&D lore, yeah, I'd take a look at this just to see, because
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know much about Monster Hunter when I saw the Monster Hunter movie, and yet I knew a lot of the inconsistencies and how poorly written that movie was. Even though okay, but
Yeah, you're making me violate my own philosophy about trailers. I give it a 3 because, yeah, I'll see it. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I certainly have my concerns. So I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm about a 2.5, 3, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
2.5 or 3, because I'm still on the fence about it. This could still go very wrong. I mean, how many movies have we seen that have really great trailers, and then you go see the movie and you're like, ooh, this sucks. Like, all the good stuff was in the trailer.
Right.
This could very much
man.
be the same thing.
I just hope it's not like John Carter, where it turns out that it's like a really good flick and then nobody cares. Like,
yeah,
that would be
yeah.
one of the worst case scenarios.
Yeah, that's such a shame. That movie's badass.
Oh yeah.
But it's got a fairly big cast. It's got Chris Pine in it, of course. Michelle Rodriguez. Justice Smith, who was in I think the last thing I saw him in was the Detective Pikachu movie.
He's in that game.
He's in. He's in.
The game that has Ted Raimi in it.
Yeah, it's about werewolves. It's
Hey, that's the big spoiler.
Oh, the quelling or the
quarry.
Yeah, you just
the quarry.
You just spoiled
the
one of the
quarry.
biggest parts of it.
No, not really.
That would be like saying there's Wendigos in Until Dawn. You don't say that.
Okay, sorry.
Dude.
Spoilers. Sorry, I spoiled that for everybody.
I'm still on the fence about Hugh Grant being in it, but I guess we'll see.
Yep.
That's all right. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3. I'll go check it out, but I'm still kind of. I'm very volatile. If that movie sucks and I paid money for it, I'm gonna be so pissed.
All right. Well, let's get out of here. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yep.
All right. So guys, let us know what you think in the comments about the trailer. If there's anything we missed, please let us know.
Right.
We'll be happy to answer or reply back to you. If you like this video or dislike this video, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you want to do.
Right.
It helps us either way, so we'd really appreciate that. And of course, you can hit the subscribe button and get every new live video as it becomes available.
Right.
Tony's channel. There's is in the description. There's a link in the description for Tony's channel, right below. And also, go Fenris.
Oh, that's not my shirt. That's a Mike Allred shirt. Jack Kirby, Mike Allred homage. Yeah.
Yeah. Way to represent someone else's shirt when we're trying to sell your shirts.
This one is on TeePublic.
You can
it's called Mother, and Mike Allred's an awesome guy. So, anyway, TeePublic / Go Fenris.
You can find obscure, nerdy shirts there on TeePublic. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and go, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, good night. Good night.
Adios.